Hey, I forgot to show you the Mike's new barn over here in the last video. Thought I'd try to get over here. It's kind of muddy, but the ground is nice and frozen here. And it's a beautiful barn. It's got a 17-foot high garage door. Mike will be able to get a semi-truck in here if he wants. But this is going to be for extra storage. Some of the bigger things we're going to get over here. Some of the bigger trucks that I don't show too often on Meldrum's Monster Garage, but you can see they're getting it laid out for concrete. What a moisture barrier that is. Man, oh man. Looks like Will's been busy over here. Will's our concrete guy. So, yeah, this is going to be really nice. Got a porch on it and everything. Some windows. Lots of stone around here right now. Got some nice windows here so we can see what's going on. So yeah, cool things happening here over at Mike's. Of course, that's across the street. Here's the finished assembly garage that I work in during the day. Got my parking spot all ready for me. And then here's another garage we do some work in. That's mainly car storage though. So hey, let's get back to our brake conversion project on the 59 Impala. All right, here we are back in the garage, and I'm actually glad that Mike has these cars covered up this morning because this is a 68 Chevelle, there's a 70 Chevelle up on the lift, and the 59, because I want to paint the back of these bumpers. All right, so Mike had these re-chromed, but they don't do anything to the back of these bumpers. And what I'm going to do is put a silver galvanized paint on the back just to cover up, you know, a little bit of corrosion before it gets out of hand. So that's my first project today. So now we're working on the brake booster side of this. Got to mount the brake booster. So you got a couple brackets here that go on here. I'm not sure if I got them upside down or right side up right now, but I'm just going to do a test fit here. And I've put a long rod in here. Maybe I need a short rod. I'm not really certain right now. We'll just see how things line up. We'll go ahead and mount it to the firewall. You know, fortunately we got the studs, 4 studs coming out of there already. And yeah, let's just see how this goes. All right, so I pushed it on there, and I've just got one nut on the top here, the easiest one to get to, just to hold it in place. You can see it's relatively level right now, even maybe tilts back a little bit when I push it up against the firewall. But the next thing I got to do is go inside the car here, and we got to hook this up to the brake pedal. So I don't know if we'll be able to see this, or if I got to get some additional lighting in here or whatnot. Let's take a shot at it. All right, now hopefully you can see this. We've got the clevis coming through here, and it's got to hit this. It's got to hit this pin right here. All right, and I've got to adjust it so it gets a little closer right now. And I went ahead and pushed the brake booster against the firewall too. So we've got this little pin that's got to go through here. And it looks like I need to unscrew this a little bit. So let me make some adjustments. All right, so I got the clevis in there now. And there's 2 holes, just so you know. Hole in the bottom, hole in the top. The pin will not go through the bottom hole. So it must be designed to go through the top. And it looks like it's fairly straight going through there. So we're good there. We're going to put a cotter key on the other side. I'm sorry, I can't get a camera angle on that. But now let's go out to the engine compartment again. Now back out on the engine compartment. You see I got the brake booster. It's not fully tight against the firewall, but I don't know if you can see down in there, but move the light over. There's a rubber piece on there that basically will seal up your firewall to the brake booster. And then there's also one on the brake booster side that goes the other way. So I'm sorry you didn't catch a video of that, but trust me, it goes there. So, all right, hang on. All right, so here's another angle on it. You'll see that it's pretty close to the valve cover, but you got the the vacuum side, I don't know where we're going to hook that up to, but that needs to go somewhere on the intake manifold. And it's pretty darn tight. Hopefully I don't have to take this valve cover off. And you got to be pretty much an acrobatic to tighten these things up. I've got a short wrench on there, and it's a ratchet style wrench, and you're going up against that wiper motor, which, hey, by the way, that looks to be the same as a 60 Buick Invicta. Remember, we did a restoration on that. Yeah, we're getting some good turns on there. The real trick is going to be the bottom one. All right, so there you go. Once again, I've got a short ratchet wrench on there, like so. Very handy tool. All right, now we're going to do a little bench bleeding, and basically, Right Stuff gives you a nice little kit here to hold the hose in, and we're going to take these and insert them into the holes inside the fittings there. And this is just to get the air bled out on the master cylinder here. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this up with fluid. We're going to push on this until all the air bubbles come out. So let's take a shot at that. So now we've got fluid in both cylinders here. We've got the fittings hooked up and down in the fluid. And what we're going to do is, let me see if I can see this. I've got it all, and we're going to push on this, and it's going to start to circulate the fluid. And of course the vise isn't nailed down all the way. There we go. Okay, so you can see the bubbles coming up there, and we're going to continue to pump on this until, notice that the level's coming down quite a bit on this. The front one, not so much, so make sure your hose stays in the fluid and keep pushing down on there until you get all your bubbles out. Ugh, it doesn't take a lot. I mean, I can already see we are looking good. All right, so this is getting a little low. I'm going to top that off and then get the rest of the bubbles out. And now for the tricky part, you're going to walk this over to mount it on the brake booster and try not to spill any fluid, because as we know, and pardon me, I didn't shave today. I don't have my glasses on. As we know, brake fluid is very corrosive. It's going to take paint off very quickly. So I've got it on there, but I have not tightened it up yet, and it's a chore because we've got the nut on here. All right, so we've got to get this this bracket that's going to hold the proportioning valve mounted. So basically, that's going to hang low here, and just going to, hopefully you can see this. It's going to mount here. Careful not to knock your hoses out of the way, but you gotta really be an acrobat to put this thing together. I wish the car was sitting flat on the ground. It's still up on the jack stands. And okay, we're gonna tighten this up and get it flush against there now. Okay, now we got the proportioning valve that's going to mount to that bracket I just put on there. And I'll get some pictures afterwards so you can see this. But basically it's going to mount right here on this bracket. And of course you're going to have your electrical wire going up that would indicate I think your shuttle valve for your proportioning valve is centered. So anyway, let's get that hooked up, and then we got some lines here, okay, they're already pre-bent, made to go in here, and I'm sure it'll be a challenge to pull those plugs out and put these fittings in as quick as possible. And so you got a certain amount of time. You got a whole reservoir full there. And I'll get some rags stuff down in there so I don't get that corrosive fluid dripping everywhere. So, okay, hang on a second. All right, I think the best approach to this is to leave this all, you know, pretty darn loose so you can get these fittings pushed in there a-okay. So I'm gonna even take, I've got a nut on the back one. I'm gonna take this loose and we'll try to get this, you know what? I'm gonna take it all loose. All right, we'll worry about these bolts, worry about these through bolts a little bit later. I'd rather get the fittings going first. So I'll get these kind of close, and I'm gonna, they look like they're gonna fit up real nice. And you can't screw this up because, you know, the sizes, there's only one size that'll fit into one hole. And let me go get a line wrench so that I can get this tightened up once I get this, you know, something you gotta kind of think ahead on because you don't want fluid going all over it. All right, if I don't like this, I'm gonna take it off the video because, like I say, it's gonna be a little tricky. I think I'll do the back one first, and then we'll try the front one. All right, so I've got everything relatively tight. I didn't lose much fluid, as you can see. Yeah, it drips all over your hands. And you've got a line here, you got a line on the bottom, you got a line on the back that y'all got to get hooked up. Now, one thing I noticed is, like I said, leave your bracket loose. I got this nut really loose right now, and I've got it all going through there. And then I'll stick my bolt through there and tighten everything up. And then slowly tighten everything up. I'll go get the cap, put that on there so I don't bump it and lose any more fluid. But yeah, it's a challenge, but you just gotta be persistent and stick with it. Those fittings with the tubes on it, the tube fittings, they just don't wanna go where they need to be, and you gotta jink around with the tubes and bend the tubes here and there, but you'll eventually get it. All right, so now we're coming down the home stretch, and it needs to be bled out. So I've got everything tightened up. I've got this bolt tightened up. I've got the mounting bracket tightened up. Went ahead and took a nice line fitting to all the fittings and tightened those up. I've got to find a place for the vacuum hose to hook up to. I'll start searching around for that. And then maybe Uncle Larry will come over here and help me bleed these brakes someday. But that's not a necessity right now because we're not going anywhere anytime fast. But there you go. There's how to install the right stuff from Summit Racing brake booster. And don't forget to watch part 1 so you can see how we went ahead and hooked up the disc brakes there. All right, Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, coming along on this '59 Chevy Impala. See ya!